Finished the Pride route and now I'm here. We are at the Greed route, of course, just like the other one. I want to give a quick thought on the chapter as a whole, just like the Pride route. I really enjoyed this route. Enjoyed the Pride route a lot more than the Greed route. To tell you why, it's pretty simple. I like them both for the same reason, but the way each chapter flows makes me put the route of Pride over it. To explain what I'm trying to say, when you look at the structure of both chapters, they have the same structure in terms of theme, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Both of the chapters you see a side of Subaru that we never seen or probably will ever see in the actual main story. When it comes to the base structures of these chapters, they are the same, so I like that a lot, but the way the story is told is much different from each other. What I mean by this is when you look at the Pride route, we see Subaru doing all these wild and apathetic actions of ruthlessness. We are watching all this go down as the chapter unfolds to the end. However, when it comes to the Greed route, it is not like that. Instead of seeing Subaru do all this stuff, we instead hear about it and learn that Subaru has done these things. We don't see Subaru do anything of the deeds that he said that he done or any deeds that he has done in the Pride route. So because the Greed route was foretelling then showing, while the Pride route was vice versa, that's the reason I put the Pride route over the Greed route. Don't get me wrong though, I really do enjoy both arcs. I really do enjoy both of the chapters. It was very intriguing. Just enjoyed the Pride route more because we got to see all the things that Subaru would do. After reading this route and having read Arc 4, I see why Subaru didn't choose Echidna back then. I still vehemently disagree with Subaru's decision not to choose her, which is a personal preference thing for me. So personally, I would have chose Echidna, but I understand, especially reading this and understanding even more that it was a good decision for Subaru to turn down Echidna for his own sake. And him becoming this Subaru would have completely betrayed the character of Subaru that is set up within the main story. Even though, as I said, I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. Even though I don't like the decision he made, I can understand and agree that this was the best decision for Subaru to make for himself. With that out of the way and my quick thoughts being over, let's get straight to the chapter 30 Kansaneru, if Greed route. The chapter starts off with Subaru waking up from a dream. He gets out of bed and sort of gets himself ready to be presentable. He closes his eyes and then poof, he's in the dream citadel, having tea with Echidna. This was a little interaction they had to briefly introduce us into the chapter. It was nice to see Echidna and Subaru interact again, because back in Arc 4, I believe that Subaru's interactions with Echidna, and not only her, but all the witches, is some of the best interactions in the series. When Subaru comes together with these witches, I think it's always a good time. Anyway, Subaru finishes the friendly interaction or banter with Echidna. He then leaves the dream citadel. Upon arriving back to reality, Echidna begins speaking to Subaru in his head. However, this comes to a halt when Petra asks to come inside the room. Before Petra is told to come in, Subaru fixes himself up and pretends to put on a face for Petra. So this was a small part within the chapter and it isn't really touched upon throughout the chapter. But however, for this small part that was introduced in, I love this small little tiny detail. I love it so much because with this little bit of emotion, you can see and understand how much of a toll mentally being this new Subaru is wearing down on him. It is breaking him so much that he has to pretend to be or pretend to feel these emotions that he doesn't really or actually feel. So this really shows how having Echidna's influence, his decisions change him from an emotional standpoint. So I like this a lot. I wish we kind of seen this more throughout the chapter, but it is what it is. He goes outside and at this point I was so shocked. Reinhardt joined the Amelia camp as he was fighting Garfield. I will get into that in a second, but first, let me speak on Reinhardt. I was in complete disbelief when I read that Reinhardt joined the Amelia camp. Because why? I just couldn't understand the reason for him to be at the mansion. But when they explained why he was there, once again, it showed how Subaru became the character I want him to be, more or less. He was able to help Felt escape to Kararagi with Old Man Rom, and since she quit the royal selection, Reinhardt was without a master. So of course, setting up the situation, Subaru came in and swooped up Reinhardt for his liking. It was the perfect plan, and now he has the strongest camp. Well, he pretty much already had the strongest camp. It just Felt camp had Reinhardt. That was pretty much the only stopping force. Then when it comes to Garfield, at first I thought Garfield's attitude was a bit strange, but I was just chalking that up to him losing to Reinhardt. However, they revealed because Subaru took the trials and did everything to free the sanctuary back in Arc 4, Garfield never gained the respect that he did for Subaru in the actual storyline. So this I thought was a nice addition to see how things would have affected others, because I completely forgot myself on how others would be affected or how other people would feel about Subaru completing the trials. I don't know how I forgot about that, but I just did. Never thought about Garfield hating Subaru for that at all. To move on to the next person we meet in this if. We meet Beatrice, and I did not expect this at all. And Subaru still, even in this if chapter, disobeyed my wishes of what he should have done to help Beatrice. Beatrice is just a wreck, and Subaru goes to visit her, and she cannot stand the sight of Subaru. Subaru let the mansion burn and the library along with it. He did not tell Beatrice that he was they, nor did he tell her that she just needs to accept him. He just packed her up and left the mansion. Doing so made Beatrice completely mentally unstable. I do like the fact that Subaru mentioned that he should have told her that he was they. He understands that that was a big mistake. However, I didn't like, or not like, but I wish that Echidna mentioned Beatrice as her child, or something of that nature of their father-daughter relationship. All she did was mention that she is a child, not her child, but a child. She never mentioned anything about her relationship to Beatrice, so I didn't really like that per se. But in terms of this interaction, it was interesting to see Beatrice go off the deep end, because she's so mentally deranged now, because her lifeline just basically got taken away, or her belief got taken away. But we move on to the next, and the next person we talk to is Ram and Rem. It was odd and weird seeing Ram be nice to Subaru, and I low-key didn't like it because I think that the greatness of Ram is her opposing personality of Rem towards Subaru. I like seeing her pessimistic and asshole-ish remarks towards Subaru. I didn't like her being nice. It just felt weird and out of place. As for Rem, I thought it was a sweet moment, but something more important I want to talk about is what Echidna said to Subaru during the moment between Subaru and Ram. I said Ram? I mean Rem. Echidna brought up the idea that since Subaru is going through all these lengths and confessed so much to Rem, is he really truly in love with Amelia as much as he thinks or says he is? And hearing that, it was excellent. One, it shows visually how much or how manipulative Echidna can really be. Two, it answers the question for me personally on how Subaru justifies his love for Amelia and Rem, because I think it's so dumb how he loves both of them but puts Amelia over Rem, but dies and speaks and does these actions that lean so much in Rem's favor. It really irritates me. But it was nice here getting clarification of his love. Before I get into the last person, I of course need to speak about the GOAT once again. The GOAT. He didn't show up this chapter, but it was a really touching story, of course, once again, of how Otto left because he thought of Subaru as a friend and he felt that the relationship wasn't mutual. These small little scenes of Otto in these chapters are just great. They're wonderful. I love them. The last person Subaru talked to was Amelia, who learned that she is mentally drained right now because she was not able to complete the trial. So reliving her past really messed her up. I didn't like how submissive Amelia was this chapter. I don't like it ever when Amelia is being real submissive. I hate having her depicted like that and making it look like she's a child. And I get the whole age thing, but it just, okay, I'm not gonna get into that because that's just something far left from what I need to be getting to. But I just don't like how submissive Amelia was in this chapter. But overall, the interaction between them two was good. But what was really funny was how Echidna hates Amelia, and it's funny how she didn't talk to Subaru the entire time he was with Amelia. I find Echidna dislike or hate for Amelia hilarious. It's just so funny to me. As for the ending, Elsa showed up, the best duo. We learned that she helps the Amelia camp in the shadows. She then kills Subaru, and Subaru then wakes up the next day. And so that's pretty much it for the chapter. Like I said in the beginning, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great chapter once again. But other than that, I don't really have that much to say. I hope you all enjoyed the review. Like, comment, and subscribe. What's next? The Wrath route? What's next? The Wrath route? So I guess I got that after this. That'll be coming out hopefully soon. Pray I'm not lazy. But I hope you all have enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.